Hey, what's going on, everybody? Quick question. Have you all ever heard of this stuff here? So this is a type of new potting medium that I discovered last year, but I finally got my hands on it. But listen, don't worry, because this video is not going to be all about this stuff right here, because I do want to show you some new plants that I've purchased, and maybe some old plants that are growing well for me. So stay tuned, let's hop into it. So listen, I started using this PAFCAL potting media, and I also purchased some, what is this? Tree fern fiber. One of my friends on Instagram, she challenged me to try this tree fern fiber. So I'm at the point to where I'm about to experiment with a couple different things. But the thing that I'm most excited about is the PAFCAL, because I've been trying to get my hands on this stuff since early 2021 when I first saw videos about it. So quick introduction. I'm gonna do an experiment with both of these potting medias, but let me just quickly tell you, this is some type of a sponge material, and you can use this as semi-hydro or you can use it as regular soil, but it is very interesting. And I'm gonna do a full video on this and the tree fern fiber later on, after I have more experience with both of the two. So look, take a look at this stuff. So these chips here, very lightweight, but they're made out of a sponge material, 100% natural. And it's my guess that they mix it with some type of other composite material, because like I said, it's a sponge, but it's a lot harder to press down than, the sponge that you wash your dishes with. So maybe they mix in some type of wood or like rock material that they mix in with the sponge. And what happens is you pot your plants up with this stuff, and this little sponge will soak in the water, and it can provide air and water to the plant roots without overwatering it. So when I saw a video about this stuff, it struck, I was interested because the lady that was growing her plants, she grew them in Malaysia. And she said she had a problem with her roots rotting because the rain and the high humidity out there, it was just too much moisture. She said when she started using this stuff, it solved all her problems. So I always wanted to try it, because during the time that I was looking at that video, I was dealing with a lot of root rot. But she says it is impossible to rot the roots with this stuff. And I believe her, because when I, last night when I was kind of like seeing what this stuff really do, you can't really overwater this. It's a sponge, and it soaks up as much water as it can soak up. After that, the water will fall straight through, and it keeps the water away from the roots. So the roots are able to attach to this spongy material when they need the water, but they always have access to air. And we'll take a deeper dive into it when if I end up really liking this stuff, So these two here, these are my sacrificial plants. I'm trying these two plants out in these PAFCAL chips. This is a Hoya polynura cutting, fresh cutting, 0 roots. So I want to see if it roots well into this new potting media. And this is a Anthurium clarinervium little seedling that I picked off the mother plant. And I want to see if it continues to grow well in this new potting media. So I was watching this lady. She says that this potting media was just saving her plants. Mind you, I didn't even tell you I didn't get this stuff for free. I purchased it on my own. I was just so happy to get it. It's not sponsored, nothing like that. I just like to experiment, and I love the science behind plants. But anyhow, this lady said that her Monstera aurea kept rotting. So she showed clips of her Monstera aurea rotting. She put the Monstera in this stuff, and it just started to develop like massive roots, and the plant took off. I can relate to that because I have a Thai constellation upstairs that will rot at the drop of a dime. So the fact that this provides perfect aeration, let me see. The bag says pretty much it's 70% air with 30% water is the kind of like the makeup of it. And of course, a sponge is definitely air. It's an insulated, it has air pockets in there, but it also does hold on to a good amount of water. So I believe the claims with that. And another thing that I can show you is, look, I see how people say, okay, this is not going to rot your roots because look, as I'm touching this, it's kind of dry. It's a little bit damp. But if I were to, you know, squeeze it, then it's water all in the inside of it. So the fact that this can sit around your roots and be fairly dry and just provide just enough moisture, but if the plant needs water, it can cling onto this stuff, and you know, inside it's water that it holds on to. I feel like, yeah, I feel like that's dope. And the fact that this stuff lasts for 10 years, so we'll see. We will see. And for those of you living in Southeast Asia, I believe that this stuff was, you know, made in Japan, but I know you all use it over there in Malaysia, Philippines, Southeast Asia. If you're familiar with this stuff, drop a comment and let me know what it do, because I'm trying it out. And if you're not able to find this on Amazon, I bought mine on Amazon, but later on, if this ends up working out and you're not able to find it, it's because I bought it all up. Because if this works well, I would love to transition a lot of my plants into this type of potting media, you know, because it is so easy. All you got to do is run water. There's no way to really overwater, because the sponge is going to just soak up as much water as it can soak up, and anything after that will just run straight through the pot, you know. So very interesting. Let me know if you know about this. And, you know, later on, maybe I'll do a whole video on my plants that are growing in this stuff. That new. All right, so let's get into these new plants. So the first plant I want to show you, I just purchased maybe a week ago. And you know what? Y'all may not even like this plant. Y'all may not like it. But this plant I purchased, this is not for my collection. This was something that I needed to go in my living room. I wanted something big, green, and easy. So that's what this first plant is all about. So we have none other than Anthurium jungle bush. Yes, this is an Anthurium. You can't even see me, huh? So listen, I know y'all don't like, I know a lot of people don't like the bird's nest type of Anthuriums, but I really needed this one to really just, you know, do up a space in my house. Like, I wanted that big green jungle vibe, and I actually really like it. I got this from Rolling Greens for $19.50, and it's big. It had what, 4 flowers on it. I cut those flowers off because I want the leaves to start growing right away. But this is definitely gonna give some jungle vibes to my living room. And I needed something green that was just solid green, because I have this black rusted pot. Matter of fact, I'm gonna bring it over here. I don't wanna turn the camera around, but I'm gonna bring the pot over here and you'll kind of understand what I'm talking about. And maybe you might understand the reason why I bought this. So this pot right here, it has like a cast iron look to it, but it's actually made of resin. So this comes in a set of 3. So I have 3 different sizes over there by my window. Comes in a set of 3. And if you put colorful plants inside this colored pot, like it has like a black rusted color. It's an odd color, but it works out for the decor that I'm doing or whatever. But if you put like, you know, yellow and green and variegated plants in here, it doesn't look right. But when you put something just simple and solid green like this, it works out with the 3-piece set that I have over here. So that's the reason why I have to get this big jungle plant. So it's looking like a jungle over there. But hey, I'm happy to have this one. I figured that it's already established and it acclimating real well to my house. So I don't have it planted in a pot yet. As you can see, it's flopping around, but Anthurium jungle bush. So this next plant I purchased from Ecuagenera, USA. So it wasn't an import. I bought it from Florida, the Ecuagenera in the United States. And I'm gonna show you all this plant because if you're thinking about buying it, I do recommend it. My only issue is with Ecuagenera itself. It seems as if when I buy plants on sale and it's a cheaper price, they don't do a good job with packing it because this plant arrived with, a new leaf trying to unfurl, and during shipping, that new leaf that was trying to unfurl got damaged. So that's just that. I normally don't have that problem when I purchase expensive plants from them. So I don't know if that's an issue there. Like, is Ecuagenera they don't put certain plants in the proper boxes if they are the cheaper plants. I don't know if there's something there, but that's the case. So I have none other than Philodendron ruizi, aka Wheezy. So I purchased this plant for a really good price. It was on sale, and this is that new leaf that got damaged that I was talking about. But overall, the texture on this plant is very leathery, kind of like the Patriciae. So it's kind of funny how I went back on Ecuagenera USA, and they actually have this plant crossed with the Philodendron Patriciae as a hybrid now. But I feel like they look so similar that paying a cheaper price for this one might be the way to go. I'm gonna give this some bright light because I know that the stem can develop some red color to it, and then it just has these long paddle-like leathery leaves. You can kind of get that texture, but it is a climber. Already has a thick stem, and so far, I mean, look, I only had it for a week or two, and it pushed out this damaged leaf just fine, and I'm pretty sure the next one on the way will be just fine. It seems as if it's an easy plant. So if you're thinking about getting one of these, I think it runs for about $35 maybe or something like that. I think it's gonna be nice, especially once I get it to climb. I want to see, what happens with these nice big leathery leaves. Right now, it's not really giving much. It's looking like bird of paradise-ish. But I don't care. The only thing that matters is I really like it, and I got it for a good price. So, yeah, you'll see what it do when it start climbing, though. Philodendron ruizi. So the next plant is a propagation from a plant that I've had for a long time. If you watched my first houseplant tour at the beginning of 2022, you would have seen this plant. The mother plant is outside. I made a propagation, and here it is. This is the Anthurium medium variegated. So I do like how this is coming along. This plant is a slow grower. I always thought of Anthurium to be very similar to, an epipremnum like a pothos, or even, close to monstera. And I just felt like the plant was gonna grow fast. It just has that look like as if it grows fast, but nah, this joint is slow. So for the whole spring and summer, this propagation, which already had aerial roots, only put out these 2 leaves. They look good though, but it's only 2 of them. We do have some type of growth point going on down in there, and the roots on this is crazy, but it's just not a fast grower. But it's okay because I know about Anthuriums. They like to climb, and if they don't climb, they will send out tendrils. They will send out tendrils to grab onto something, and I don't want that happening. I think I'm occupied with putting a lot of my other plants on poles and stuff like that. So the fact that this one does not have a pole, I guess you can go ahead and take your time with growing, until I get around to it. So I guess I don't mind this being slow, but this is the a medium, variegated. The variegation on this is pretty nice. This is something different, and I'm glad to, you know, have it in my collection. All right, listen, I'm definitely about to throw in something old. So I bought me a little starter Alocasia last year. During the winter, it did what Alocasias do. It crashed and went down just to a corm. I threw that corm outside, and this spring, that corm is back to life. So we have none other than Alocasia soron. Look how big this joint is. Let me stand back. So if y'all don't know, this is a hybrid. Do y'all have an Alocasia soron? Did you know that it was a hybrid? This is a cross between the Alocasia zebrina and the Alocasia friday. So you can see how it kind of looks like a glossy version of a friday because they mixed the, you know, it has that zebrina stem, but the friday shape to it. So this is a cool Alocasia, and I feel like this is gonna just get bigger than me. And I'm excited. I don't want to tip this pot over, but it's already growing some babies down here. So I'll have more of these pretty soon. And I'm gonna leave them outside because if it got this big, that quickly, just from a corm in a matter of 2 seasons, then I'm gonna go ahead and leave it out there. When wintertime hits, I'll bring it indoors and see what happens, or, you know, I'll separate the pups and we'll have more of these. But the bigger that it gets, the more that I really like it. Because this is a Alocasia that's very easy to come by. Like I said, last year I was buying these little starters for $15. Now look what we got. Oh, let me go ahead and get some B-roll on this because I don't even want to hold it and show y'all like this. Okay, so this next plant was very necessary. I got me a Glorious. Another hybrid. This is the Gloriosum crossed with the Melanochrysum. I guess it turns into a climbing plant. But I never thought I was going to get this one because I already have a Splendid. I already have a Majestic. For some reason, I look at this as more similar, but they're not really that similar, you know? So Majestic, not really much to look at. I got me a cutting for a really good price. So I saw the opportunity and I struck, like, what's up? So I got me a Glorious, and I threw this one out in the greenhouse like right away because I wanted it to acclimate to, you know, those greenhouse conditions while we still have this warm weather. So, I mean, hey, if you don't know LA, we have warm weather for about 7 months out of the whole year. So that's a pretty long time compared to, you know, the rest of the country. So I want this one to get nice and developed out there before I have to bring it indoors, you know? So I'm gonna leave this one out there, and I'm happy I got it. Got these little stringy aerial roots on them, but I probably should get to this one on a pole soon because yeah, I'm gonna need this one to. I need some more of the big joints, you know, and I want this one to be one of the ones. So I got it. It's gonna do some work. We'll see. So next up, I got something very, very different. It's a philodendron, and I ain't never seen this philodendron ever in my life. I never seen it in anyone's collection. I have not seen it online, and I like to shop around online a lot. I ain't seen this one, and I don't know the name of this one. I forgot it. I don't feel like going into my phone to try to get the name, but cool thing about it is I bought it on Etsy for a decent price, and the person that I bought it from ended up being one of my Instagram friends. So it was kind of cool that I purchased it from him, and we were able to, you know, chat in a private message and whatnot. So that was cool. So here we have it. This is a philodendron. I will put the name on the screen. Kind of different. It's like a it doesn't have any veins. So it's kind of matted like the rugosum, but it has like this red outline to it. So I was on a search for the Philodendron ricardoi. I think that's the name of it. That one is like a matte green leaf with no veins. It was just like green and it had like a red outline to it. So when I was looking for that, this one actually popped up. And I got this one because I cannot find that Philodendron ricardoi, you know? So the fact that I ain't never seen this one, I'm like, it might be good for me to collect it. So when I researched this plant, I found out that it has a unique growth pattern. Like when it climbs, I heard that it kind of makes a hook and then it'll climb, then it'll make another hook with the new leaf, climb. So the stems come out kind of like in this hook shape. So I'm curious to see what that's all about if it happens with this one. So I'll keep you updated with this. Something new, something rare. And I like it. Thanks, Mike, for the plant. The next plant is a succulent. I have a lot of new cacti and succulents outside, but I wanted to show this one because I felt like it used to be rare. I hear it used to be very sought after, and they have a variegated version that's quite expensive. I have the regular version, but the regular version is pretty dope to me, and I feel like it's kind of cute. Like, I feel like girls would really like this succulent right here. So we have the, I believe it's the Catalina obscura or something like that. Look at it. So it's like chubby, but it has like a white sheen to it with a purple edge. And then we have a bloom right here. Check this out. The bloom is pretty dope. And it's simple. And then, you know what? Listen, we got some things to discuss because people be lying, bro. Like, so I heard that cotyledons, it's a type of succulent. I heard that they go dormant during the summer, so you should never buy them in the summertime. Why this plant is not dormant? Matter of fact, it grew new leaves and it also grew these flower shoots, and the flowers are blooming in the summertime during the time that everybody says that it's dormant, you know? So a lot of times I just don't be listening to y'all because y'all don't be telling the truth. Like, this plant is growing during the summer when you said that it like goes dormant during the summer, you know? So that's the cotyledon. Hope y'all like this one. I'm gonna pop this one up in something nice to kind of complement what it's bringing. So listen, I got a wish list plant. I never thought I would have this plant, and I even hated on this plant because I thought I would never have it. I told myself that this plant is ugly. That was just hate. That was hate because I knew I couldn't afford the plant. That's what that was all about. But guess what? Prices be dropping. I finally got my hands on one. It ain't much to see right now, but it's a wish list plant. It's a wish come true. So this plant that I speak of is none other than the Philodendron strawberry shake. Yeah, I finally got one of these and I'm so excited. It definitely looks better in person than all the pictures that, you know, I've seen back when I was hating on it, you know. But this is a mid-cut, and I purchased it for a really good price with really good roots. I don't even think you'll be able to decipher the roots with the sphagnum moss in here, but it was a good rooted cutting. And the fact that I know that this is a variegated red emerald. So the Philodendron strawberry shake, it's a variegated red emerald, and that is a very robust plant that grows really well. So I figured that it was safe for me to buy a mid-cut. Hopefully I'll be happy when I see new growth come out from this little stem here. So I threw this one outside too, and hopefully it pops off because I'm excited to finally have one of these, you know. So listen, let me talk about Hoyas real quick. I have not made a Hoya video in quite some time because, truth be told, Hoyas are like my moneymaker. I propagate a lot of my Hoyas and they sell so fast out here. So the fact that I propagate them and I'm able to offer them for sale, it's like, I don't want to show you all a plant that has just been cut, you know? But I do have one that I want to show you, and I will be putting out another Hoya video soon because they are bouncing back after I propagated a lot of them. And I feel like I want to buy some more. But these Hoyas like really pay for themselves. And once again, listen, selling plants is not my main salary. I'm not into the hustle because I hate like that whole type of hustle lifestyle. I pretty much have a hobby that I want to pay for itself. So that is the reason why I would, you know, offer a lot of my plants for sale locally, you know. And eventually, if I decide to branch off and start my Etsy shop, which I'm leaning towards, then, you know, that'll be for a business on the side. But overall, I don't get the plants just so I can sell them. I enjoy plants. I have a passion for it. Hopefully you can see that, you know. But when it comes to this Hoya, I really love it. Let me show you. So we have the Hoya obovata, intervariegated, and splash. Check that out. So let me explain something. I do not like when Hoyas grow the tendrils. I'm just not a fan of tendrils. I feel like it looks tacky. So what I did with this one was I actually took this plant and I leaned it up against a wall like that. It's been growing leaned up against a wall, and therefore the stem is not being left hanging, so it doesn't grow a tendril. It's just been growing continuously like a regular vine, you know? So, I mean, I should give this one a trellis, but I was thinking that I might sell it soon, but this one looks so nice that I think I'm gonna go ahead and keep this one and move on to some other Hoyas to propagate. I'm gonna let this one just go ahead and grow up. But this Hoya actually grows fast. I always thought that the carrii and the obovata would be slower growers because they're bigger succulent plants, so they remind me of like a slow desert type plant or something. But nah, this one is quick. This is a cutting from the mother plant, and this cutting outgrew the mother plant. Crazy. So this one is just so happy, and it keeps putting out I thought it was gonna revert because this was a 2-leaf cutting, and then it put out this leaf which didn't have much variegation. Then it put out this leaf that didn't have much. And the next thing you know, it put out all of this. So yeah, these things do put out, it'll put out a green splashy leaf, but the variegation does stay in there, and you can always cut it because these are so easy to propagate. So that's my Hoya obovata, intervariegated, splash. So this new plant that I got, I purchased a month ago. I never showed you all this plant because when I got it in the mail, I cut most of the leaves off because they were damaged. And I was a little bit mad because the picture advertised had all of these pristine leaves, but then when I got it in the mail, it was a bit tattered. So I cut maybe 2 or 3 of those leaves off, and I grew 2 new leaves in my care. So the fact that this plant now has Aroy district leaves, I'm gonna show y'all. This is my new plant, and it is the most recommended plant. I recommend that you get one of these. Anthurium forgetii dark. I love this plant. This was the leaf that it shipped with. I cut the other two off that was tattered like this. This was the first leaf that grew in my care. And this is the second leaf that's getting bigger. This dark form, for some reason, grows extremely fast. You know, so the fact that, you know, I cut this down and I was able to bounce it right back and it came back stronger than ever with these, man, this Anthurium for some reason is not fussy at all, you know? So like I said, forgetii, yeah, forgetii do need some humidity. This one I don't recommend putting out in like 40% humidity. I think it needs around 60 at least, but look at that. You know, dark Anthuriums are like the big thing right now. And this is one of the dark Anthuriums that is affordable and it's gonna get huge. You're gonna get these huge turtle shaped leaves, has all this crazy shine on it, got that deep green color. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take this one outside so you can see some B-roll footage of it. You know, when the whatever sunlight is left hits the plant, so y'all can see how that looks. But yes, I am highly recommending you get one of these Anthurium if you don't already have it. If you already have one of the Anthurium forgetii silver stripes, get you the dark one too. And I mean, hey, if you thinking in your mind like, I already got a forgetii, get a dark one just for breeding purposes. The fact that it's dark, and if you cross it with a crystallinum, you might come out with a darker crystallinum, you know, hybrid. So if you get it for, you know, hybrid breeding purposes, that's one way to look at it. But I really do highly recommend this one just because of how quick it grows. And just look at it. Look at this leaf. So that's all I have for you for today. I got a couple questions for the district. What do y'all feel about shorts, YouTube shorts? Because I was thinking in my mind, I wanted to do some species videos where I just do 1 minute about one specific plant. Because I miss species videos. Like back in 2020 when I wanted to buy a plant, I just wanted something quick to just go to a video and let me look at it, let me see what they say about it, and then I'll decide if I want to buy the plant. And there's not a lot of species videos out. I know Green Man Grow 7, homie Sean Knight from Green Man Grow 7 YouTube channel, he does species videos, and I do miss those days where you can just, you know, boop. This is a Philodendron White Knight. This is a little video about just the Philodendron White Knight, and then I can go and decide if I want to buy that. So I was thinking about doing shorts where I covered just one specific plant. What y'all think about that? Let me know in the comments. So, hey, hope you like the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay blessed. Stay safe. See you on the next one.